What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rand from Team Arsenal back with another video, and today we have a dueling book match for you guys between myself and Jag and Dragon. I will be playing my Rokket Orcust deck, incorporating Rockets this time around because we're trying to test out a new build. And Jag and Dragon will be playing Beetroopers, one of the new archetypes from Dawn of Majesty. So this should be a dope one. Let's get into it. So I'm winning the RPS, but I'm gonna let Jag and Dragon go first. Opening hands. We have Infinite Impermanence, Orcust Crescendo, Forbidden Droplet, Foolish Barrel Goods, and Armageddon Knight. So basically 2 starters. We have a hand trap for our opponent's turn, but this might or may not be enough. And then we have Droplet for follow-up. Then our opponent's side of the field, they have Twinbow the attacker, Arbalest the rapid fire. So these battle boss plays basically extenders here. This is just be summoned off for free, and this actually is normal summon to summon out an insect from graveyard. So it basically just gets you a body back. Then Beetrooper Sting Lancer, which is like a pseudo DD Crow for the deck, where you can shuffle back an insect in their graveyard and a monster in your graveyard, put them back into to the bottom of the deck, summon this out for free. And then after that, he can search out a Beetrooper spell or trap card. So yeah. Then we have Beetrooper Scale Bomber. So what he does is basically when an insect is normal summon special, he can summon stuff out to the board. Then when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can tribute an insect and destroy that exact same monster. So it's a pseudo disruption. And then Renaissance Insect is basically a extender in a sense, and it's also a really great searcher for the deck. Not only does it get you your kaijus like Humongous or Gadarla, it also gets you into your Beetrooper Sting Lancer, as well as in some cases Doomdoze, I think his name is, the big centipede insect that most of these decks play. You start off with the Renaissance Insect, Chaining Scale Bomber. Then from here, he wasn't looking away, he decided not to. Instead, he's gonna go for his Twinbow, summon himself out. Link for 2. Into the link to Beetrooper Armor Horn. So basically what he does is he gives you basically another normal summon, on top of the fact that when he's in the graveyard, you can banish 3 other insects in the graveyard, summon him back out. So this is pretty nuts for the deck. So it gives you 2 normal summons, which you desperately need in this deck, obviously. And not only does, but he also can bring himself back as a link too. So it's pretty good. But the thing is, we're gonna do Renaissance effect here. That's going to grab the Sticky String Kaiju. He's going to attempt to do armor, but we're going to meet that with Infinite Impermanence. From here, there's link 3 into another great insect for the deck, Sephiroth Paplon. So basically what this does is, on summon, it gets counters equal to the number of insects used for its materials. So in this case, it gets 2 counters, which it gets 200 attack for each counter, so it'll be at 25. Then you can quick effect remove 1 counter from it to summon an insect from your graveyard. So in this case, you can summon out the Scale Bomber to basically make a disruption on your opponent's turn. So he gets his counters. Then he's gonna pass turn. So we draw a quick launch. Standby, he's gonna go ahead and use the Paplon. We're gonna do quick launch, chain the Forbidden Droplet to get rid of the quick launch. That way we're negating the effect of the Paplon as well as getting our Rocket Tracer. Moving to main phase, we'll link away the Tracer into a Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon will then trigger to add Boost Sector Launch, and then we will attempt Striker's effect. But we do it too quickly, so that gets met by our Lancer. So it's gonna put the the Rocket Tracer to the bottom of the deck. And we don't get the Striker because it targets first. Then from here, Beetrooper is going to search for a Beetrooper formation, which basically is a field spell, allows you to target 1 Beetrooper in the graveyard, spelling it back out, but it can't attack and you lose the attack equal to its original attack, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. And then also has the ability of when a face-up insect you control is destroyed by battle card effects, you can summon out 1 Beetrooper token. So it's basically just like insects expect to do, swarm the field, just swarming the field. So from here, we go Armageddonite, dumping the Nightmare, go Nightmare effect, targeting the Armageddonite, dumping the Whirlwind effect to summon back out the Nightmare. Link away the Striker and the Nightmare into Galatea. Galatea effect, shuffling away the Whirlwind to set up a Babel. And from here, go Dingirsu effect to send the Lancer. Battle phase, swing over the Papillon, and then swing with Dingirsu directly. Then we go main phase 2, link it to Galatea, set Crescendo pass. Now from here, we draw a Scale Bomber, which that's sucks for us because now he basically has the Humongous to deal with the Galatea unless we symbol it back, obviously. Then he has the Rapid Fire that gets him into a level 3 or lower in the graveyard. So it'd be Chainlink 1, the Rapid Fire, Chainlink 2, Scale Bomber. So basically chain block here, and then he would get another body off of the formation if he does this right. And it might be ways to have possible game. So on standby, we're going to go Nightmare targeting Galatea, dumping symbol just in case of any trouble. But it's mainly center for Dingirsu, but it's not going to do that this turn, obviously. So we get met by the Kaiju, and on res, symbol, target Galatea, summon it back out. And from here, he goes Rapid Fire, Chainlink 1. We kind of shotgunned that there, but that was our mistake on our part. Chainlink 1, Rapid Fire, Chainlink 2, Scale Bomber. We're going to chain Galatea, Chainlink 3. To shuffle back the Nightmare, setting the return. Just in case he swings with the Rapid Fire after the fact. So he's going to summon out the Scale Bomber. And the thing about what he's going to summon from graveyard, he's going to summon out another Scale Bomber. Then we go Formation, meets by Crescendo. And then from here, link for 2 into another Armor. And link those 2 away for Shinobi Insect. Now this one's pretty dope as well. So while this card points to a monster, your opponent can target that monster, the Shinobi, for card effects. And if a monster, this card points to show a battle or a card effect, you can summon out one level 4 insect, level 4 or lower insect from your graveyard or from your hand. So like I said, they just keep swarming the field, which is pretty cool. So from here, he would go Armor's effect, banishing 3 insects from graveyard to summon out the Armor. This will trigger the Renaissance. Renaissance will then send the Goki Pole. Goki Pole will then search for a level 4 or lower insect, which if it's a normal one, you can summon it out and then pop a monster with higher attack than it on the board. Which in this case would be Humongous. Humongous get destroyed, triggering the Shinobi. Shinobi would then summon out Scale Bomber. And from here he links for 4 into the giant Beetrooper Invincible Atlas. Now this one is pretty dope as well as a tank in a sense. Because while it's linked with some monsters on the board and it has 3,000 less attack, he can't be targeted by card effects, nor can he be destroyed by card effects. And then he has the neat ability of you contribute 1 insect and you either activate one of his 2 effects. The first one is to summon 1 Beetrooper from the deck. The other one is to make his attack 2,000 to the end of the turn. Will gain 2,000 to the end of the turn. But mainly he's there just to be a tank or be an extender for other insects, obviously. So he's going to trigger, tributing off the vanilla for a Sting Lancer. Sting Lancer would trigger to then search out the counter trap. Beetrooper Flying Sting is basically a roar for the deck, except for it doesn't negate monster effects and spells and traps. It just negates monster effects, which they could have done better. They could have gave them all of it. That'd been nice. They just gave insect something. Just give them the whole thing. That'd been pretty dope. It does have a neat ability though. When it's in the graveyard and you control an insect with 3,000 or more attacks, you can banish an insect from the graveyard and reset it. So that's pretty cool. But they should have gave it the whole spells, traps, and monster effects thing personally. But anyway, moving forward. From here, we proceed to go to battle phase. We have the Lancer swing at the Galatea. Doesn't die by battle, look at it because it's linked. And then we'll have the Atlas swing as well, so that we're taking 1800 damage. Set the Sting and Fly with a Flying Sting and pass. Now from here, we have to get the Galatae off the board so we can do the afterburners, obviously. So we go first for a Crescendo to add the symbol. Now what I could have done, I could have just literally just returned away the Galatea and then just normal on the symbol when the time was right. But I didn't think about it right then and there, so I ended up getting rid of the symbol, drawing Quick Lunge and Area 0. And from here, we just go Area 0. Targeting the Galatea, because like the problem is I'm leaving this up to chance when I could have just literally just sent it to the graveyard, drew 2 cards, still had a symbol in the hand, but it's a normal summon, that's fine. So it's Girsu, Widow Anchor, and Forbidden Droplet. I left it to chance, which chance worked out for me. It worked out in my favor. It basically gives me game right then and there. But I didn't have to do that. So we're going to add Widow Anchor to hand, put back the Crescendo, put back the Girsu and the Droplet, excuse me. And that was in the Galatea. Then we activate Afterburners, popping the Scale Bomber and popping the back row. And from here, we go Widow Anchor, snatching his Lancer because the other one can't be targeted. Then Symbol Effect, somehow didn't Girsu from graveyard, sending away the Link 4 Atlas. And that's game. So obviously he's going to have to go first again here after we side it. Opening hands. On my side, we have Quick Lunge, Armageddon Knight with Upstart Goblin, Ash Blossom, and Call by the Grave. So Ash Blossom, it's not the strongest hand trap, but it will do some work against either the Goki Pole or the Renaissance Insect, depending on where he goes with his plays. And then we have the Quick Lunge and the Armageddon Knight starters. Pretty good. So on his side, we have the Godarla, which is going to basically be a crackback for a Galatea if it's summoned. Scale Trooper, which is basically our extender right here again. And then we have double Goki Pole and 1 Renaissance Insect. So, Goki Pole, yep, Scale. Link those 2 away for the armor, yep. And then we will attempt the Goki Pole. Yeah, that'll get ashed, yeah. It's like, it's better to be safe than sorry. An additional normal summon, which it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but ended up being Renaissance, which kind of sucks. So he links 3, goes into Paplon, Chainlink 1, Renaissance, Chainlink 2, Paplon. So Renaissance is going to go ahead and search for his Sting Lancer. And like we're going to pass turn here. So my turn, we draw War Wand, which sucks. Standby. He attempts Paplon. I think it doesn't target. It doesn't target. But we can probably infer here, based on what's in the grave, that we're going to call by the grave the Scale Bomber because it's the only threat right now, because everything else just basically has a body on the board, which is fine. So he triggers it. We chain Call by the Grave, getting rid of the Scale Bomber. Gets Goki Pole instead. In main phase, we go Upstart Goblin, Mystic Mine. Now, before we do all of this, we should just went Mystic Mine first. Now I think about it, because that way you won't have any disruptions for any of my plays whatsoever. But he was kind of rushing here. So we linked away the Tracer into Striker. Striker 1, Lance 2. So Lance puts back the Tracer and puts back the Renaissance Insect. Summons himself out. Then Striker gives effect, and Beetrooper get his effect. So, Whoop Sector. The other side is going to add the Counter Trap, Flying Sting. And beside on Mystic Mines, we continue to play the game. Armageddon Knight. Dumping the Nightmare. Linking for 2 into Blocker. Blocker effect. Sending the Whirlwind out of hand because it's a brick. It basically kills our play if we don't get that out of our hand. From here we go Nightmare, targeting the blocker, sending Symbol effect in the graveyard. Oh, sorry, not Symbol effect, my apologies. Whirlwind effect in the graveyard to summon out the Nightmare. Link those 2 away into Galatea. From here, we go Galatea effect, shuffle back the Whirlwind to set up Crescendo. And then symbol effect, summon back out the Nightmare. And from here we go into our Dingirsu. Dingirsu effect to reattach the Crescendo. Not Crescendo, excuse me, the symbol. Now, thing is though, I'm thinking we could have just left that there and sent one of his monsters to graveyard, but we actually want to keep our Mystic Mine alive for some reason. So battle phase, we swing over to Papillon. Takes the range of damage. Man phase 2, link away into Galatea. And then from here we can just pass turn. The thing is, what I didn't think about as he draws Scale Bomber for turn, I didn't think about he could literally just link these two away for his link to armor, which was like, you'd have to just play it into that. You should just went for like Babble or something. I think Babble or something would have been better. Anyway. So he thinks about it. And then also he has the Kaiju, so it's like it doesn't really matter at this point. Well, he links for 2, goes into armor. The thing is though, he attempts Goki Pole effect, but the thing is he should have Kaiju first. But I understand he was more concerned about the Mystic Mine, but he should have Kaiju first. Getting rid of the Galatea, that way I have no way to stop him. And basically sets himself up for game. So instead, Crescendo into the Goki Pole. And he sets 1, ends turn. Mystic Mine is gone. The thing is, he still should have Kaiju'd, I think, even if it was a misplay, but it happens. But for our turn, we draw Kumongous because we set our own little Kaijus just to be able to out the Flying Sting. So Kaiju over his insect. Then from there we go Galatea effect, not Galatea, excuse me, Nightmare, target Galatea. Send World One effect, excuse me, symbol effect to summon out Dingirsu. Then Dingirsu effect to send the Flying Sting. Then we go World 1, summon back out the symbol. Galatea, shuffle back the World 1. Set Crescendo. From here, battle phase. Galatea over Kumongous for 200. 12 direct, 26 direct. Main phase 2. Go into an IP. So from here, get Kaiju'd. Yep, that's fine. Then he goes Rapid Fire. Attempts effect, then realizes he doesn't have targets in the grave. Which I'm telling you ahead of time, because like, yeah, I definitely remember that. He definitely doesn't have any targets. So keep in mind, like I said, this is a test, a play test. So I did let him take it back. As you see right about here. Yep. Instead, he goes for Goki Pole and then somehow Scale Bomber, which is fine. We attempt to go IP, and he changed Scale Bomber. So the rule we went with right here is that IP has to activate first before it just leaves the field. So he has the opportunity to chain the Scale Bomber to pop the IP Masquerade. If that's incorrect, tell us in the comments below, like you guys always still do. We really do appreciate that kind of stuff. But for this one, we did just rule that, yeah, he will pop the IP and it just fizzles. It's just play test, and it's not the end of the world. It's not like it's rated or anything like that. So yep, he popped the IP, Goki Pole effect. This is where he realizes he made another blunder in the fact of he sat out his engine. Sad face. So unfortunately, the game's gonna conclude on that. But guys, I know it was like a weird, wacky game, but I wanted to basically just display, first of all, a new deck that needs to be paid attention to in Beetroopers, where it's not gonna be like top tier meta, but something that's pretty cool. Just in the right hands, maybe it can do way more. And on top of the fact of, yeah, I made improvements to Orcust, and I hope it works out. But anyway, guys, it's been Ramp Team Arsenal signing out. Peace.
Hi guys, it's Bunny. Thank you guys for always supporting us and watching our videos. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And check out our other social media pages and a link down below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.